Citra-kautuka-toranam Chitra-dhvaja-patakagrair Antah-pratihatatapam Antah-pratihatatapam Gopura-dvāra-margeshu Krita-kautuka-toranam Chitra-dhvaja-patakagrair Antah-pratihatatapam Gopura-dvāra-margeshu Krita-kautuka-toranam Chitra-dhvaja-patakagrair Antah-pratihatatapam Gopura-dvāra-margeshu Krita-kautuka-toranam Chitra-dhvaja-patakagrair Antah-pratihatatapam Gopura-dvāra-margeshu Kripa-kautuka-toranam Antah-pratihatatapam Gopura-dvāra-margeshu Krita-kautuka-toranam Antah-pratihatatapam. Synonyms: Gopura, the gateway of the city. Dvāra, door. Margeshu, on different roads. Krita, undertaken. Kautuka, because of the festival. Toranam, decorated arch. Chitra, painted. Dhvaja, flags. Pataka agraihi, by the foremost signs. Antaha, within. Pratihata, checked. Atapam, atapam, sunshine. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. The city gateway, the household doors and festooned arches along the roads were all nicely decorated with festive signs like plantain trees and mango leaves, all to welcome the Lord. Flags, garlands, and painted signs and slogans all combined to shade the sunshine. Translation with repetition. The city gateway, the household doors, and festooned arches along the roads were all nicely decorated with festive signs like plantain trees and mango leaves, all to welcome the Lord. Flags, garlands, and painted signs and slogans all combined to shade the sunshine. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Signs of decoration in special festivals were also collected from the gifts of nature, such as the plantain trees, the mango trees, fruits and flowers. Mango trees, coconut palms, and plantain trees are still accepted as auspicious signs. The flags mentioned above were all painted with the picture of either Garuda or Hanuman, the two great servitors of the Lord. For devotees, such paintings and decorations are still adored, and the servitor of the Master is paid more respects for the satisfaction of the Lord. Thus ends the wonderful transcendental Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are in this wonderful section of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam where Lord Krishna is entering Dvārakā. And we have been seeing how these residents of Dvārakā are preparing themselves with great eagerness, with great attention to details to welcome the Lord. Gopura dvara margeshu krita kautuka toranam chitra dhvaja patakagrair anta pratihata tapam. Gopura dvara margeshu. The gateway of the city was marked with what? Toranam. Toranam we have, like in the entrance we put toranam, decorated arch. Chitra dhvaja, painted flags, pataka grai, by the foremost signs. And they were putting different things so that the sunshine does not fall on Krishna. And the decoration which was used were mostly from plantain trees and mango leaves. The word that I was finding it difficult to pronounce, pratihata tapam, right? Pratihata tapam. The word pratihata tapam, actually this word finds a mention in the song that we sing, very famous song, Bhaja Hure Mana Shrinanda Nandana. In that there is a line which comes, Sita Atapa Batabari Sana Edina Jamini Jagire Bifale Se Binu Kripana Durajana Chapala Sukhala Bhalagire. Sita Atapa, right? Sita Atapa Bata Barisana. Sita Atapa, there is winter and there is sunshine. Sita Atapa. So the sunshine, they were trying to protect Krishna. Antaha pratihata atapam. Antaha pratihata. Look at the love of the residents of Dvārakā. How much they're having these emotions for Krishna. How much they're feeling. How much intense that love is. It is not artificial. It is not artificial. You can't do this artificially. Actually, the parampara in which we come, starting from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right, and all our illustrious acharyas and Goswamis, they give a lot of emphasis on studying the scriptures very carefully, very sensitively. Not just trying to find some meaning, Gopura Dvara Margesu, Krita Kautukato. No, see the unspoken feelings of the residents of Dvārakā. This is just a normal thing. Somebody is entering into Dvārakā who's not somebody who's coming for the first time. He's a resident also. But he is not just an ordinary person. He's the Supreme Lord. You know, that feeling which Bhagavatam conveys with so many details. There is no reason. I mean, the previous verse we saw that there were some trees which were laden. What is exactly? Yeah, so it was saying that city of Dvārakā was filled with opulences of all seasons. There were hermitages, orchards, flower gardens, parks, reservoirs of water, breeding lotus flowers. All these things, these details are not necessary. Or even before, when Kṛṣṇa came and he just blew his conch shell, that conch shell which is white in color because of coming in touch with the red lips of Kṛṣṇa became reddened. And all the Dvārakāvasis, they ran. They ran leaving their jobs, their household things. They came. Now we are seeing it is not just, they have come and they've forgotten how to welcome Kṛṣṇa. They have also decorated the city. Oh, Kṛṣṇa has come. What is this feeling and why one should do this? That's why I'm saying very careful and sensitive study of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad-gītā, which our acharyas pay a lot of emphasis. It's not just merely knowing some meaning of the words and thinking that I have understood. That mood, that intent, that we have to get it. If you see, when Narad Muni met Vedavyas, and Vedavyas was despondent in his heart, right? He was feeling that dissatisfaction that I wrote all these Vedic literatures, yet something is missing, something somewhere is missing, and I'm not getting that satisfaction. What was the instruction Narad Muni gave to Vedavyas? Narad Muni's instruction to Vedavyas was very simple. He said, Bhavatanu dita prayam yasho bhagavato amalam yene vaso na tushyeta manyetad darshanam khilam. Bhavatanu dita prayam yasho bhagavato amalam. Oh, son of Parasar, oh Vedavyas, you have written so many wonderful things. But what you have forgotten or what you have not highlighted, along with Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, you have also mentioned about the glorious activities of Kṛṣṇa. No, you should not. You should exclusively talk about the activities, the birth, the nature of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This was the instruction given by Narad Muni. The exact translation is, you have not actually broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of the Personality of Godhead. That philosophy, which does not satisfy the transcendental senses of the Lord, is considered worthless. Khilam. It's not of any value. This is what Narad Muni is telling to Vedavyas. Imagine if I ask you, Bala, you are a software engineer? What technology you are working? Product engineering. I ask you, write a book on product engineering. What will you do? You'll open your laptop. I'm just saying what steps you'll take. Maybe you'll use ChatGPT or, there's so many Gemini and I don't know what all, Perplexity and all those things. Write a book on product development in IT industry. And you'll find this thing. Step 1, step 2, step 3, you'll write it, done. What did Vedavyas do? Vedavyas was asked to write on the spotless glories of, broadcast the sublime and spotless glories of the Personality of Godhead. He didn't start with Krishna's birth and activities, which is there in the 10th canto. That is the largest canto of Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, filled with Krishna's birth, activities, killing the demons, doing those wonderful pastimes in Mathura, Vrindavan, Govardhan, Dvārakā, then again going back to Kurukshetra, then his quitting his body, which spills over to 11th canto. But he didn't do that immediately. He didn't start with Krishna's glories from 1st canto. He built on 1st canto, 2nd canto, 3rd canto, 4th canto, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, to give us the information about the true position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Who is He? He's not like any ordinary persons. Yes, He is a person like me, but yet He is not a person like me. That is why we need to understand Krishna's position properly. Unless we understand Krishna's position, if somebody says Krishna was playing there in the lap of Mother Yashoda, eating some mud, it appears very mundane. What is so great about it? Because we don't know who the Supreme Lord is. What is His true position? Very interestingly, if you see Bhagavad-gītā, there is this verse which comes, which probably all of us we might be familiar with in 7th chapter. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhaye yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tattvataha. Tattvataha. To know Krishna in tattvataha is very different. You see, these words are very, very nice. And if you pay attention to each of these words, very powerful they are. Manushyanam, not of any animals. There may be so many animals. What is the difference between the animals and the human beings? Well, animals cannot change their behavior. They act instinctively. They feel like they are hungry, they'll go and they'll hunt or they'll do whatever that needs to be done to satisfy their hunger. They feel like mating, they will go and mate. So they are not considered. Manushyanam. Manushyanam, the human beings have got a special prerogative. They can use their mind and intelligence. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaye. Manushyanam sahasreshu, thousands, millions of people, kaschid, hardly one. Kaschit yatati siddhaye. The word yatati is used in Bhagavad-gītā in many times, in many places. What does the word yatati means? Who's endeavoring. Endeavoring for what? Siddhaye, for perfection. Manushyanam sahasreshu. Who does that? How many people are doing? Kaschit yatati siddhaye. This word yatati is very nicely given. These things, unless we pay attention, we will not know. 5th chapter, there is a verse which comes. It says, Kama krodha vimuktanam yatinam yata chetasam. Kama krodha vimuktanam yatinam yata chetasam abhito brahma nirvanam vartate viditatmanam. Kama krodha vimuktanam. Right? Kama krodha and maybe sleep also. Kama krodha vimuktanam. One has to become free from lust and anger. Kama krodha vimuktanam yatinam yata chetasam. Yatinam yata chetasam. Yatinam is saintly persons, and yata chetasam is persons who have full control over the mind. The word chetasa is translated by Prabhupada as mind. Who's endeavoring to control over his mind. Kama krodha vimuktanam yatinam yata chetasam and abhito brahma nirvanam vartate viditatmanam. Again, the word atmana is used here. Vartate viditatmanam. Viditatmana means who's self-realized, who has realized who he is. Not this superficial, gross understanding of the body. I'm born in this family, this is my father, mother, this is my brother, and I have to live with them happily. That understanding is there even in the animals. Vartate viditatmana. So Krishna says, those who are free from anger and all material desires, A, who are self-realized, B, self-disciplined, yatinam yata chetasam, and constantly endeavoring for perfection, are assured of liberation in the Supreme in very near future. This understanding of Krishna, if it is not there, it doesn't reflect in our action. Why? Because in Bhagavad-gītā itself, Krishna says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. Aham sarvasya prabhavo. The entire cosmic manifestation, both manifested and unmanifested, is coming from me. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. Whatever you can think of, whatever you are able to see, is all coming from me. But this understanding doesn't come to everybody. Nobody knows it. Iti matva. If you know this, iti matva bhajante mam, you will happily engage in devotional service. If you don't know, then this is all superficial, mechanical, artificial. We don't want to, but what to do, they're asking me to do. It's a burden. We don't feel like. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. With feelings. That transcendental knowledge is not a dry this thing with feelings. I'm Krishna's. Iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. So that Krishna's position is very nicely described in Bhagavatam, the first 9 cantos. And when you understand the true position of Krishna, when you understand who he is, naturally, like the residents of Dvārakā are having feelings, that feelings will come. It is not unnatural. But since we don't have an understanding of Krishna's position, who really he is, we have all kinds of, confusion in our lives. What happens if you understand Krishna's position? Like, sometimes, you go to some donor's house, they invite and they'll say, I have my Krishna. Some small babies, they bring like, oh, this is my Radha, this is my Krishna. It's actually an offense, right? When they'll have their nose running or something and then they'll say, yesterday he was having a cold, and Krishna is not like that. Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even when he was child, even when he was at the lap of mother, had the power to kill powerful demons. It's not some ordinary this thing. So to understand his position. Otherwise, when somebody says Krishna was stealing butter, he was trying to break the pots, he was trying to do these things, we can't understand unless we understand his position. These leelas will not make sense. Of course, these leelas are very nicely explained by our acharyas, especially Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he says there is something called rasa tattva, the science of the exchange of rasa. Rasa means, when you do some activity, you get a delight in that. That is called rasa. The Lord also wants to experience that rasa tattva. And there are 12 rasas, 5 primary and 7 secondary, and the Lord wants to release that. Just to give you some example of what this rasa is, like there is Santa rasa, there is Dasya rasa, there is Sakhya rasa, there is Vatsalya rasa and Madhurya rasa. Just to give you the example of Santa rasa and how the Lord, what is it that Santa rasa is? I remember few years back, okay, this is this World Cup, T20 World Cup is going on. The god of Indian cricket, right? He decided to play his last match. Who was it? Everybody knows, huh? And then this match was so planned, it was actually happening in Wankhede, in Mumbai. That's his home ground. And it was against West Indies. Okay. सिन्हा जी पूरा जोर से सर हिला रहे हैं, मालूम है bro, आगे बोलिए. And he had told that he'll score a century, right? And there was a whole anticipation, and the West Indies captain had told at that time, we will ensure that the maestro misses the milestone. We will put all our efforts. Built up, and all the crowd, everybody was packed in Wankhede. They were waiting, and Sachin Tendulkar comes to bat. You won't believe, for that match, even Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi were also there. The last match of his announcement was. Sometimes the sportsmen, they know that the prime has come to an end. They realize that the body is no more active, so they decide this. So everybody in a big anticipation, and Tendulkar goes, and I'm saying Arjuna goes, Tendulkar goes and bats, and then he couldn't get a century. I think he made some 74 or 70, I don't know how. 75, okay, so 75 or something. And then Tendulkar is walking back, disappointment, okay, and he takes out his helmet, walking back. And the crowd is like roaring. Tata, Tata, you know that, right? Whatever, that his name. And then he's coming and he's just about to cross the boundary line and go. Takes his bat and waves to the whole crowd. The decibel level goes up like, furthermore. And he's bidding at you and going. They don't have access to Sachin Tendulkar. They can't come and hug him. There is a boundary. They probably will not have even information about his personal phone number or his house where he stays. But look at the feeling that they have. He's our man. I don't know him in person. There is a Santa Rasa. And he goes away. So the Lord comes as a human being to exhibit certain pastimes to attract us. But because of two things. One is our forgetfulness. And B, because of our enviousness to Krishna, we don't remember, we don't understand his position. Forgetfulness is very strong, deep. I don't need Krishna. I am this body, I am supposed to enjoy this material world. Whatever resources are there, all meant to please me. That is what is my understanding. And the second one, so what it does is, it creates, if you don't know the true position of Krishna, but have some understanding of Krishna, actually that is called sahajiya. Yeah, Krishna, mere baby Krishna. You have to know who's that Krishna. Not some joke. That's how this owl, baul, all those 13 apasampradayas which were there, which we were talking about, right? When Bhaktivinoda Thakur came, all those people, they do some cheap things. But the bigger problem is the envy that we carry in all our hearts for the Supreme Lord. What Krishna says in 9th chapter of Bhagavad-gītā, Pravakshyami anasuyave yad jnana vijnana sahitam yad jnatva mokshasya subhat. What is the first line? Idam tu te guhyatamam. Idam tu te guhyatamam. This is the most confidential knowledge. Idam tu te guhyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave. I am telling it to you, Arjuna, because you are non-envious of me. What is this envy of Krishna? Envy is we are all envious of Krishna. Why he should take the central position? Why should he be the only enjoyer? I want to enjoy. I want to enjoy independent of Krishna. That's very deeply there inside us. What exactly is envy? I'll give you one example. This is a story from Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura. He talks about the story of a boy by name Panchanan. Panchanan in village, it's very difficult to pronounce. I mean, probably like in America also you come, Sadananda becomes sad. So whatever, Panchanan was Pencho. So Pencho was naked. He was roaming around in the village naked. And so everybody used to call him Naked Pencho. Where is that? Pencho? Oh, the naked Pencho you're talking about. Like that they used to refer to him. But of all the villagers in that village, Pencho was the most studious, brightest of students. He had something special about him. He was studying very nicely and still everybody, Pencho, no? Naked Pencho, what he'll study? He's like, and then he studied, and then he went to a city. Then he got admission into law, a bachelor's of law. Law got over. And then after law was over, then he became a lawyer. And then the news went to the village. He told, Panchanan Babu has become lawyer. Panchanan Babu? Who's that fellow? We all, you remember that naked Pencho? Naked Pencho has become lawyer. Impossible. Must have given bribery somewhere. Right? Can't do this himself. He said, no. He has actually become a lawyer. He's doing very nice. Actually, this thing has become, he's very reputed now. And one day, he became a judge. That news also came to the village. So the villagers are saying, there's some whoever having that envy. Oh, you are telling naked Pencho has become the judge? Do you know in the court, there are many people who wear this black gown, not just the judge. You probably are mistaking with him the lawyer. Lawyer also wears black. Did you really see him sitting there on the judge's chair? No, he was sitting in the judge's chair. Maybe you would have sat there temporarily for taking some photos. Nay, he was actually the judge. He gave, very nice, he was doing very nice judgment and all. They must not be giving him salary. See how much of envy inside. Imagine if this news goes to his mother who is in the village. How will she feel? Oh, my son, Panchanan, has become the judge. So envy is a resentful awareness of the advantage that other person has and a deep yearning to have that. It's a resentful awareness. Oh Lord, that is there deep within. So we are not able to develop that love for Krishna. Our existence is dependent on Him. There is nothing else in this world except for Krishna. Vasudeva sarvamiti samahatma sudho. Very difficult. But we are not able to give up that envy. I still want to be the center of attraction. I want to be the cynosure of all eyes. I want to enjoy all these resources. Why Krishna, Krishna, Krishna? So that doesn't come. Like the Dvārakā Vasis here are welcoming Krishna, each one of us, every day in our life, we get an opportunity to welcome Krishna. Where? When we are chanting Hare Krishna. Every single day. And look at how careful we are. What is going on in our mind? Somehow, something, just finish these rounds and go and do something. Planning is going on. Some notifications come, I'm taking that. Somebody comes, I'm hearing. The Supreme Lord mercifully is willingly coming, descending. He's coming on my tongue every day. Just this thought, if we become cognizant of, the Lord is coming. I must welcome Him by hearing, by paying attention. Attention is a function of the soul. Conscious being can have attention. Not this table doesn't know that there are two Bhagavad-gītās, one Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and a laptop has kept on it. It doesn't know. It doesn't protest. Why have you kept two Bhagavad-gītās? Why not only one? I have to be very attentive. The Lord is descending every day. How mercifully He is descending. Abhinnatvam nama namino. Kalikale Krishna nama rupe avatar. He is coming. But we are not ready. What should we do? What is the problem? Where are we going wrong? What is it that we have to change in our behavior? The Bhagavatam is ultimately about changing our behavior. There are two verses of Bhagavad-gītā, very, very powerful, very nice. We'll spend some time on that. This verse of Bhagavad-gītā, it's the 6th chapter, 5th verse. You would have heard this, seen this, but let's again try to see this verse. Uddharet atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmaiva hi atmano bandhur atmaiva ripuratmana. 6th chapter, 5th verse of Bhagavad-gītā. It's a very unique verse, beautiful verse of Bhagavad-gītā, very practical verse. In this verse, if you count the word Atmana, there are 7 times the word Atma is being used. Uddharet Atmana, first Atmana, Atmanam, second, Natmanam, third, Atmaiva, fourth, Atmano, 5, Atmaiva, 6, and Ripuratmana, 7. 7 times the same word is being used, but it has different meanings. Uddharet atmanatmanam. Natmanam avasadayet. Atmaiva hi atmano bandhur. Atmaiva ripuratmana. The word that is, first word that is used, these words, so that's why I'm saying very careful reading. Bhagavad-gītā and Bhagavatam reading is not reading of a newspaper. Not reading of some WhatsApp messages or Instagram reel or something. What the title is, we don't pay attention. We just see the reel or the photos and we are done with that. No, I got a sense of what the post is. Very carefully. And the moment you give attention and you see this, many things get revealed. Uddharet atmanatmanam. Uddharet means one has to deliver. One has to deliver? Yeah. Who can deliver? Can animals deliver? No. They've gotten a body and they just function as per that. We can. How we can do that? Uddharet atmana atmanam. We can deliver ourselves with the help of another atma, which is mind. With the help of my mind I can deliver? Yes. Uddharet atmana atmanam. Natmanam avasadayet. This same mind also can bring us down, can drag us down. Avasadayet. It can take us to depression, lamentation. Uddharet atmana atmanam, natmanam avasadayet. Mind you, this is only possible for human beings. Human body is a very special thing which has been given to us. Very special. No other species of life can walk straight. So many facilities we are given. There is a story in Mahabharata. There was a man who was about to commit suicide. So he's going and he was about to jump off. So one fox came. And in these stories, fox, birds, animals, everybody can speak. So the fox is talking to the human being. She's saying, I'm committing suicide. Why? What to do? My life is full of mess. I've just decided I'll commit suicide. He said, do you know what value you've got? You've got a human form of life. Why are you committing suicide? What's so special about it? He said, if you have itching, you can use your hand to itch, right? If a thorn gets pricked to my leg anywhere, can I remove it myself? The fox is asking to the human being who was about to commit suicide. And we can use our hands. Imagine we are able to eat our food. In Chaturmasya, I was telling Badri a few days back. In Chaturmasya, there are some austerities people do. One of the things is you should not use your hand to eat food. And me and Mukunda Madhav Prabhu, when we were in hostel, we did that once. So we'll keep the plate in front of us and we'll bring our mouth and try to eat. Whatever way you can. You do that, after 2-3 times your back starts paining. Right? We don't value what all things are given to us. These hands are so important. Very, very special body, this human being. We can improve our situation. Even if you hypothetically accept whatever Darwin has said, that we were all monkeys at some point in time and we have evolved. You see how we are trying to change the situation. We've got the ability to counter the miseries, the problems that we are facing. So many things are blessed. The human beings are blessed with. So that is why Uddharet Atmanatmanam. If we use with our mind, we can deliver, we can go up. If you want to go up, you need something. How do you go up? With the help of your mind. Uddharet Atmanatmanam Natmanam Avasadayet. Don't use the mind to go down. Actually, we don't need to do anything. Going down is easy. You think I am, the way I am, I'll remain like that, you'll go down. Because the moment we are born with so many rinas, so many debts. Debts for the sages, debts for the scriptures, debts for the demigods, debts for so many pitrurina. And you don't do anything, you just do some activities. The weight of that bandhan, that bondage of those activities, those reactions, and the debt will bring us down. Natmanam avasadayat. Bhagavatam very nicely puts this in this verse of Nirdeha Madhyam Sulabham Sudurlabham. Nirdeha Madhyam Sulabham Sudurlabham. It's a very rare. Out of 8,400,000 species of lives, only 400,000 species of human beings are there. It looks like it's a large number, but no, it's very, very small percentage. 8,400,000 varieties of lives in that human being life. Sudurlabham. We have already gotten it. We don't have to do anything. Sulabham. It is actually, now we have got the human form of life. I don't have to worry now. What should I do? Plabham Sukalpam. This is actually a beautiful boat. Plabham Sukalpam. Very nicely planned by the Lord. जैसे बोलते हैं ना वो बहुत बारीकी से बनाया है. Very, very nicely it is planned by the Lord. Sukalpam. Plabham Sukalpam. Guru Karnadharam. And we are so fortunate that we have got the captain of our ship as Prabhupada. Plabham Sukalpam Guru Karnadharam Mayanukulena Nabhasvataritam. And the favorable wind in the form of Bhagavad-gītā, Bhagavatam is available. that can take the boat to the shore. Puman bhavad bhim nataret sa atmaha. Puman bhavad bhim. Despite all these things, if one doesn't take advantage, Puman bhavad bhim, and doesn't cross over this ocean of birth and death, bhavad bhim nataret sa atmaha. Atmaha is a killer of his mind, is a killer of his soul, killer of his own intelligence, killer of everything. Nataret sa atmaha. What wonderful life we have been given. This rare human form of life. And we are not utilizing it properly. We are busy doing so many things. Very nicely, if you see that verse again, Bhagavad-gītā, Atmeva hi atmano bandhur, atmeva ripuratmanaha. The word he is used here. Atmeva hi atmano bandhur. Actually, we don't have any other friends. We don't have any other enemy. What do you mean by we don't have any other friends or enemy? The moment we think of the word enemy, some people's face comes. He is the problem. He is the cause of my problem. He is. Whatever it is, he is the enemy. But Krishna is telling, Atmeva ripuratmanaha. Only Atma, our mind is our enemy. Only mind is our friend. Only he. So what about other friends and relatives that we have? Oh, they are actually the cause of bondage. But if you use your mind, which is there always within, he's the best friend, because with the help of mind you can uddharet. You can deliver yourself. Uddharet atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayat. But the mind, if it is not absorbed in Krishna, looks, hankers after. That's the property of mind, for material enjoyment. Goes after that. Atmeva hi atmano bandhur, atmeva ripuratmana. When Krishna was talking to Arjuna in Bhagavad-gītā 3rd chapter, he was telling that kama yesha krodha yesha rajoguna samudbhava mahasano mahapapma biddhiyenam iha vairinam. Biddhiyenam iha vairinam. Know for sure, biddhiyenam iha vairinam. This is your biggest enemy. And then he says, jahi satrum. You have to beat this enemy. Where does this enemy reside? Indriyani mano buddhirasya adhishthanam uchyate. In our senses, in our mind, and in our intelligence. Primarily mind. So Atma can refer to any of these things. So if the mind is corrupt with all these things, then it will become your enemy. But if the mind is clean, free, if the mind has got good qualities, I have to become a Vaishnava. The reason why I am here is that I want to purify myself and go back home, back to Godhead this life. Then the mind is your friend. Atmeva hi atmano bandhur. In the prayers of the unborn child in Bhagavatam, I'm going back to... Okay, this verse I have not gotten. There is a prayers by the unborn child in... if Panduranga, can you search for that verse? It's 3rd canto, 31 chapter. Bigata something will be there. Bigata Viplava. And then verse we find. So the prayers of the unborn child, he's telling that, what is the reason we have come here? What is it that we are looking for? Why we are here for? Why we are coming to ISKCON? I mean, why are we coming to this temple? What is the purpose? What is it that exactly we are looking for? Is it some kind of, coming and associating with some people and talking about our problems? Or is it, finding somebody who can help us in our career? Or is it something that I just stand before the deity for some time? What is it that I'm looking for? Did you get that verse? The unborn child is telling that, I want to remember the lotus feet of Vishnu. I want to remember the lotus feet of Vishnu so that I don't get into the plight of entering into many wombs. I've gone through that, I've done that. I don't want to have any more desire. I want to just remember the lotus feet of Vishnu and just, get out of this. You got it or no? Huh? Very good. Yeah, soham vasan api bibho. No, not this one. Tasmadaham vigata biklava uddharishya atmanam asu tamasah suhrudatmaneva bhuyo yatha vyashanam etad anekarandram mame bhavishyad upasadita vishnupada. Actually, this is a very helpless prayer of the unborn child, which is all of us, when we are about to come out of the womb of the mother. Tasmad ahama bigata biklava. Tasmad aham bigata biklava uddharishya. Bigata Biklava, Prabhupada's translation is, I have gone through this pain, this miseries many, many times. Bigata Biklava Uddharishya. Oh Lord, please, deliver me. Uddharishya, the same word, Uddharet. Atmanam asu tamasah suhrudatmaneva. How does this happen? So he's telling Suhrudatmana, with friendly intelligence. I need to use my intelligence to control the mind. Atmanam asu tamasah suhrudat. I cannot be so careless. The purpose of coming to this organization, this is the boat which is left behind by Srila Prabhupada. If we hold on to this boat, we can get back home, back to Godhead. Only Acharya probably who says that if you just follow this, the principles that I have told, if you live your life properly, like in a proper conduct, if you do that, you are going to go back home, back to Godhead. So, Atmanam asu tamasah suhrudatmaneva. Not some, little service that I am doing. I have to hanker. Prabhupada's body, this ISKCON. I should do services as much, many more of mother. I don't want to. Mame bhavishyat upasadita vishnupada. I want to remember the lotus feet of Vishnu and just get out of this material world. He says, therefore, without being agitated anymore, I shall deliver myself from the darkness of nations with the help of my friend, clear consciousness. Simply by keeping the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu in my mind, I shall be saved from entering into the wombs of many mothers for repeated birth and death. So often, when we think this is my enemy, this is my friend, or because of that person, because the boss in my company, because that guide in my college is not favorable, he's scolding, he's rebuking, all these things are going on, and I'm not able to experience happiness, I'm not able to experience, or I'm experiencing misery which I don't want. Very nicely, Bhagavatam is saying that none of them are our cause of our happiness and distress. So what is the cause of happiness and distress? That Bhagavatam says that the cause of happiness is Nayam jano me sukha dukkha hetur. No human beings is the cause of our happiness or distress. Na devatatma graha karma kalaha. Neither the demigods, not graha, like the planetary system, not that sunny dasa is going on, not karma, not even karma. Kala is an impersonal energy of the Lord. Kala is also not the cause. Mana parama karana mamnanti. Mana is our mind. Mana param karana mamnanti. Samsara chakram parivartayedyat. In this samsara chakra which we are going through, nobody is the cause of it. It's our own mind. In mind, I'm getting attached to something. I'm feeling happy. If I'm not, then I'm feeling sadness. So that is why this verse of Bhagavad-gītā, Uddharet atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet atmeva hi atmano bandhur atmeva ripuratmana. A mind is both. It can be enemy, can be our friend. Like the example which Prabhupada gives, that of a knife which you can use to chop vegetables, you can chop your own finger also. Like fire which can be used to dissipate the darkness for cooking, can also burn the house. So it is not fire is good or bad, it is not the knife which is good or bad, depends upon how you want to use it. So how does it happen? Is it like the mind sometimes becomes friend, sometimes becomes enemy? In the morning time it is friend, in the evening time it is enemy. How does it, what is it, what is the process? That Krishna mentions in the next verse where he says, Bandhur atmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jitaha anatmanastu satrutve vartetatmaiva satruvat. Bandhur atmatmanastasya yenat vai atmana jitaha. One who has controlled his mind. There is a singer by name Jagjit Singh. He's no more, isn't it? He's passed away. So in Hindi, there is a saying which says, Man jita to jag jita. That person who has conquered his mind has conquered the world. Man jita to jag jita. वो जगजीत सिंह हो सकता है, अगर मन जीता तो नहीं जीता है तो जगजीत नहीं हो सकता है. There's a story in regard to this where when Alexander the Great came here, his guru had told that in India there are many yogis. You go and meet a yogi and probably, if possible, bring him to this country. So he goes and meets one yogi who was sitting under a tree. And then the yogi was introduced by a soldier of Alexander. The Samrat, Chakravarti Samrat has come. And the yogi starts laughing. What kind of Samrat, what kind of an emperor you are? He is a beggar, he said. And seeing that, Alexander got very furious. What does this yogi think of himself? After all, he is sitting here under a tree, nothing. I am the emperor and he is telling he is a beggar. So he goes and asks him, controls his anger and says, see, if I'm calling you a beggar because you still have unlimited desires. You have got so many desires, you want to fulfill them. So you are not a samrat. And you have not conquered your own self. You are having anger. Whereas I'm sitting here, I don't have any desires. And there's no anger. Man jita to jag jita. Bandhur atmatmanastasya yenatmaivatmana jitaha anatmanastu satrutve vartetatmaiva satruvat. The last line, the word satru is used here twice. Anatmanastu satrutve vartetatmaiva satruvat. If the mind is uncontrolled, it remains as an enemy forever. An enemy may have a feeling of enmity at some point in time, but mind is not like that. It exhibits the feeling of enmity all the time, remains as an enemy if it is uncontrolled. So how important it is to control our mind. And this is exactly what Krishna says, and this whole chapter is about that, 6th chapter if you see. He says about the Yoga Rudha, Yoga Rurukshar and Yoga Rudha. And he says that Samatvam, in a Yoga Rudha stage, a person needs to have equanimity. And the exact word is Arurukshor Munir Yogam Karma Karanam Uchyate. Yoga Rudhasya Taseva Samah Karanam Uchyate. Samah Karanam Uchyate. Arurukshor, when we are trying to learn this process, that is where the sadhana bhakti is there. I have to be very strict. To be very, very strict. There's bodily demands, there's minds, this thing, craziness. It makes us forgetful. We have got this envy inside. Mind is uncontrolled. But I have to be very strict. Aruruksur munir yogam karma karanamucha. That karma is all this yama, niyama, asana, pratyahara, pranayama, whatever it is. But yoga rudhasya, then you come to a stage of yoga rudha, which is the perfection. Samah karanamuchyate. Samah karana means equanimity. Seeing with equal vision. Samah karanamuchyate. It is the hope for us is the sadhana bhakti leads to raganuga bhakti. There is a spontaneous love for Krishna, like the Dvārakavasis, like the Hastinapur residents, like the Vrindavan residents. Natural love. They are hankering because they have understood the true position of Krishna. We have not yet. And we are still contaminated. And the mind is still uncontrolled. I'll conclude with this one verse from Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura. He tells about 3 things. So this is from Brahma Samhita. Pramanes tad sadachares tad abhyasair nirantaram bodhayan atmanatmanam, again atmanatmanam, bhaktim api uttamam labhet. You want to experience that uttama bhakti, or what is the definition of uttama bhakti? What we need to do? 3 things is telling. Pramanes tad sadachares. The translation of Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī is very powerful. Sad achara He's translating as theistic conduct. Theistic conduct. How should we conduct ourselves? What is the yardstick? What is the pramana? How do we know that we are theistic conduct? Pramanes tad sadachares tad abhyasair nirantaram. Endeavoring nirantaram, continuously. So theistic conduct, endeavoring nirantaram. Not जब मन किया सब कुछ हो जाने के बाद अगर टाइम मिलता है तब we will think about devotion. तद अभ्यासेर निरंतरम. Bodhayan atmanatmanam. One of the things that we were seeing on Bhaktisiddhānta Sarasvatī Ṭhākura's appearance day, one very powerful instruction. He says that a devotee should be intelligent to find freedom for engaging in devotional service. If your life is so complicated, so cluttered, so many things are going, what we will do? How will we, that bandhuratmatmanas tasya, how it will come? Mind is absorbed in so many things, and you come here tired, half gone, no this thing, energy, and then you run away. Pramanes tad sadachares tad abhyasair nirantaram bodhayan atmanatmanam bhaktim api uttamam labhyate. So the highest devotion is attained by slow degrees by the method of constant endeavor for self-realization with the help of scriptural evidence, theistic conduct, and perseverance in practice. Constant endeavor. We should not give up at any cost. Constant endeavor for self-realization. Yes, there are obstacles. Yes, there are allurements. Yes, there are challenges. Yes, there are weaknesses. But constant endeavor. With the help of scriptural evidence, thoroughly, nicely, if you read the scriptures. Theistic conduct and carrying ourselves with that. Not just meant for reading and speaking. Theistic conduct and perseverance in practice. So these are some of the important points from this verse of how these residents of Dvārakā are welcoming Krishna, and how each one of us in our lives also we've got the opportunity to welcome Krishna every single day when the Lord is mercifully descending in the form of holy name. And how we can see the mood which is unspoken and try to imbibe that by these instructions which are given by Krishna and in Bhagavatam. Anybody has any questions? Jagrantha Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai